Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Here we have the fully assembled, ready to test TriRail K5LA that I just finally finished the restoration on. Yes, the exterior is very rough, but that will not change because it's original and pretty. You gotta love a horn that can tell a story just from how it looks and not just based on how it sounds. So, just kind of a quick overview of the whole horn. This is my first time seeing this horn back together since I removed it from the since my friend removed it off his semi-truck with some help. And it's pretty sweet to see it back together. When it was on the semi-truck, it was in a kind of a backwards bell arrangement. The 3A was here, and the 4A was here, and of course the 2 was over here, and the 4A was over here, and the 3A sat there, and then the 5 was on the other side. So she's a little mixed up. The back caps, you know how the back caps normally set at an angle on the 4 and 5. They were still in their original angle, and they were upside down and cockeyed because the bells weren't in the original position. So when of course, when I put it back together, it went back together how it should be. I'm okay with running odd bell arrangements on certain things, but a K5LA, I like the bells to be in their correct place, even if they're facing a different direction. As long as they're in their correct place, I'm cool with it. But this horn was built as an ABF, all bells forward, K5LA, so it shall stay that way. Did my best to use as many original parts as possible, which I actually did pretty good on that. Pretty much everything is original except for the bolts that were broken, which as I talked about in my last video on this, I had 2 broken bolts in the manifold and then a ton of broken bolts in the back caps. I think I only had 5 or 6, yeah, like 5 or 6 back cap bolts that didn't break. So I had a lot of work when I was getting this done. We'll try and rotate her around here. And like I said before, it was being fed through this back inlet and had a plug in the bottom, so I drilled out the plug because it was heavily corroded. It would not budge no matter what I used, heat, impact, nothing. And so that ended up being drilled out, retapped. This fitting was a brass pipe fitting, so that came out really easy. All I did was clean up the threads and put a new plug in there so it can be aired from the bottom like I prefer them to be. And you guys can see all the back caps are in the correct arrangement now. Nice shiny hardware. All the hardware got really shined up. I took a lot of time to shine up the original bolts, clean them, and get all the corrosion out of the threads. Did a lot of work on those. And then for my replacement hardware, I made sure I used era correct bolts just by going off of the text on the backs. So all the bolts that had to be replaced were replaced with era correct original hardware. At least Nathan Airtime original. Original diaphragms. This horn is running all the original diaphragms. I have not flipped anything. I did clean them very well. The original cushion rings were actually in really good shape. Just cleaned some of the corrosion buildup off of those, and that was pretty much it. Everything went back together really well. The original diffuser rings, you guys saw those in the last video on this. I think I showed them sitting on the shelf. All those I shined up really nice. All the diffuser ring bolts were original. None of those broke, so I didn't have to worry about replacing those. So, other than just a handful of bolts, she's pretty well original. I'm trying the original back caps, even though they are kind of warped and pulled away from the power chamber. They don't really sit flush other than in the bolt spots, but I did do those, did that file work. So even though they don't sit flush on the very outside, on the very inside, everything is flush. So shouldn't have too many problems there. Like I kind of showed in the last video, how damaged some of those support rings were. This horn will have a little extra blow-by, but in theory, everything should sound really clean and clear. I went back and leveled the nozzle rings and the support rings, cleaned those up really well. So the horn should speak super clear, should be nice. Hopefully it's nice. I will be testing it tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. The goal was to get it back together well enough to where it just sounds perfect the first time. That's really not always the case with some of this stuff. As you guys have seen in my past videos, sometimes it's really nice straight out, and then sometimes it's not. So we're gonna see what I can pull off here. See if it's actually gonna sound pretty, or see if I got to do some more adjusting. I'm just really hoping that I can keep the original back caps on here. If I do have to adjust anything, hopefully it's just cushion rings. The original diaphragms were in super good shape. You guys can see that they are shiny. I did a lot of work to clean them up. Pretty much resurface them, smooth them, try to get them back to original condition. And none of them were warped, which was shocking with how much corrosion was on this and how warped everything else kind of ended up being. But in theory, everything went back together pretty good, so hopefully it sounds nice. We'll find out tomorrow. You guys will be a part of that. I'll do a video when I get around to testing it. I got a couple other projects put together that I'm going to test tomorrow. Not sure if I'll video those or not. I will be testing this with my 2-stage Graham White valve, so that way I can see how the quill is on this. I really want to hear it through a Graham White, and hear a really nice quill along with a full blast. I'll do a normal railroad crossing honk, and see how much air I have. Like I said, not sure. This horn could potentially eat as much air as a 80s and 90s horn with big inlets, even though this is a mid-2000s small inlets, just because of how bad some of the support rings were. I'm definitely going to get some extra blow-by. It shouldn't be a ton, but this horn will eat a little bit more air than normal. So you guys can see the tag. The tag originally had a little bit of paint on it, and I went back. The tag was in pretty rough shape to begin with, and I was able to get the paint that was on there off. Any part of the Nathan air chime, or the Nathan manufactured air chime that's missing, was already missing. That's nothing that I removed when removing the paint. The tag overall is in pretty decent condition for how the rest of the horn was. You guys can see the foot bolts have all been nice and shined up. Like I said, I will not be repainting this at all. It tells a story. It's original paint. Really cool. And I'm going to hope for the best tomorrow. And with all the work that I've put into this and just the hours of scraping and scrubbing and drilling and tapping and filing, it's been a pretty labor-intensive project. So of course I'm really, really, really hoping it sounds good. Um, so like I said, I will be testing this tomorrow. You guys will hear the first honk of it on the video. And then, like I said, if I need to adjust things after that, depending on how it sounds, I will do so. Just really hoping I don't have to replace the original back caps. That's my biggest concern out of everything, is that the back caps are going to cause an issue. They shouldn't, but we'll see. So hope you guys enjoyed seeing the horn all back together. Like I said in the past video, I do really apologize for not kind of taking you guys along on the entire adventure. It was a lot of work, and like I said, when I first got it all apart and saw all the broken bolts and all the corrosion and everything, I didn't even know if I could do anything with it because it was in such a poor condition at that point. So I was kind of down about it for a while there, until just kind of starting on it and little bit by little bit getting things cleaned up and taken care of and stuff like that. But some of you are also on the Facebook page, which I did post photos on, so some of you have seen everything that's gone into this horn. And if you haven't, I can guarantee it, it's been a lot of work, like just a ton of work. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little video here. No, it's not too long. Hope you guys are as excited as I am to hear it, whether it's good or bad. I've never heard this horn before, so I'm super excited to just hear it, period. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for all the support, and until next time, take care.